Hi, I'm Jillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to.
Have you ever had that feeling of wanting to go faster or wanting to be somewhere quicker in your own journey? And this is something that comes up all the time in my world, especially with my psychic students and with my private clients. It's this feeling of wanting to get there faster. You know, like, when are my gifts going to open more? Or when am I going to be living my purpose? Or when am I going to feel like I'm finally doing the work that I came here to do? Those are questions that pretty much every single one of my clients or anyone that comes into my space has. And like, that feeling is so fucking real. Like that, like almost aching feeling, that sense of urgency, like the timing thing is just so prevalent. And it's completely real for everyone, you know, especially when you know that the thing that you're leading into or the thing that you can feel is available for you is your soul work. You know, when you feel it in every single part of your entire being, it's like every part of you just knows or just wants to catch up with what your soul already knows. But here's the thing. Here is the thing, my friends. You cannot rush your soul work. It is impossible to rush your soul work. You can't fast track your soul path, or when your gifts are going to come more in line, or you're going to be ready, let's say, to, you know, launch your business, whatever it is. And I know this because I tried. You know, back when I first started developing my psychic and healing gifts, this must have been back in, oh my gosh, 2012, 2013. Yeah, I was like so lit up, right? Like, and this is what happens when we start to awaken, when we go through a spiritual awakening, when we awaken to our intuitive gifts, when we awaken to who we are deeper as a soul. Like, I had all of these huge activations and revelations happening in my life. You know, Spirit was opening all of these doors for me. I was having these wild intuitive experiences, and I knew, like, pretty early on that this was my path. Like, I almost could kind of see it, you know, the future work, the clients, the community. And at points, it's like I just wanted to get there. Like, I just wanted to be in this elusive place that I felt was my soul work. Like, everything was going to be perfect and amazing and fine once I was there. But here is what Spirit has showed me over time. That, like, the vision that I had, that was true, right? That was so true. That was so clear. Like, I knew it in my bones at different junctures of my path. But the timing was not up to me. Because whilst I was ready to see it, and I did see it, at that point, I wasn't ready to hold it yet. So, like, over the next decade, I trained in like 11 different modalities: psychic development, energy healing, past life work, mediumship, meditation, Reiki, theta healing. I mean, I could go on, all of it. I literally dove in head first. Like, there was never a point that I wasn't training in something to do with this type of work. It was a constant evolution over literally like 10 years. But I also had another business at that time. I owned a 7-figure digital media marketing and technology recruitment consultancy. And that chapter for me wasn't quite over yet. I was actually doing a lot of development, a lot of expansion, a lot of healing when I was in that business. You know, I had lessons that I was learning about leadership, about boundaries, about speaking my truth, about using my voice, about abundance, about receiving, about money, and what it really means to hold energy for other people. And it took really all of that, like every single delay, every detour, to actually prepare me for the business and the clients that I now serve. And I know that, because Spirit had a completely different timeline than I did. And now looking back, like, I just think, oh my God, thank God. Because if everything had opened up back then, I would have been so burned out trying to hold energy that I just wasn't ready for yet. Like, I had to go through so many of my own healings, my soul lessons, to really be able to hold the vision of the capacity of my soul work and what I'm here to do. And now so many years later on, I'm seeing this exact pattern in so many of my clients. My private clients, actually my private clients definitely, and also those in the Rebel Psychic School, my psychic development clients. Of course, mirrors to me naturally. And a lot of my clients, they come to me and they're in that in-between space, that kind of liminal moment where they're stepping out of their either old life, their old career, their old relationships, their old identity, and they're stepping into their soul work. And for some of them, that just looks like leaving a corporate job to follow their intuition. For other people, my other clients, well, they already have a business, but they can just feel that it's shifting, and they're being called to refine it, to make it more soul aligned, to let it evolve into something that just feels so much deeper and truer and more connected to who they are now. Because life, we are here to ascend and evolve, and so does our soul work, because we are the soul, and our work is merely it's just a projection of that. It's a projection of who we are. So it's really like the work that we do on ourselves, the awareness that we bring to ourselves, the healing that we do on ourselves to expand more into our authentic soul. What we're here to do, our soul work, is just a natural byproduct of that, of who we are, who we become. And that kind of space that's in between, I know it well. That's the void. And I speak about this a lot, the void. It's about the void, it's the timing. It's like that stretch between the old life and the new one. And honestly, that's actually where I do so much of my private coaching work with people, like really helping them expand their energetic capacity to hold more, and it's not even just about their soul work. Sometimes it's about their relationships too. Because again, it's all a manifestation of your soul. So they can hold more of spirit, right? They can hold more of their authentic truth. They can hold the next version of their business or their purpose or leadership or how they show up in relationships. And the thing that's really beautiful is not all of my clients have spiritual businesses, but they're extremely intuitive. They're extremely empathic. They're highly sensitive beings. Some are coaches, some, work in technology, some work in wellness, some work in supporting people that are maybe disadvantaged. Some people work in beauty. Oh my God, there's they have businesses in all different arenas. But the thing that they have in common, apart from being extremely intuitive, extremely empathic, highly sensitive people, they are all light workers. Every single one of them is a light worker. And what I mean by that is they are all here to use their intuition, their natural gifts, abilities, passions. They're here to use their energy. They're here to use their heart to heal, to support, to serve, and to raise the vibration of the people around them, their community, the cause that they're here for, whatever it is, in their very own unique way. And that's the thing, right? Soul work doesn't have to look one way. And I preach about this all the time. You are such a unique being. You have a unique fingerprint. And the work that your soul is here to do, how you're meant to express yourself and how you're meant to serve humanity in a bigger way, is so unique to you, just like your unique fingerprint. No one else has that. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a psychic or a medium or a healer or a coach. A lot of my clients do go into that, and a lot of them, that is their path. But a lot of them, it's not. It just means that you're living in alignment with what your soul came here to express. And that can take many, 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 many forms. So here's what I've really learned after guiding so many people through their awakening, through their psychic development, through activating their healing abilities, is that our soul path is not linear. It's like a spiral, or it's like a friggin' roller coaster, because you actually circle back through the same lessons each time with more awareness of yourself, more depth of who you are, authentically, and more importantly, just the embodiment of yourself, of your soul, of your connection to spirit. Because we won't get to that next level, that elusive soul work, that treasure, that business, that relationship, whatever it is that we know in our hearts that we truly desire. We're not going to get there when we haven't embodied the things that we're here to embody, when we're not living from our truth. We haven't mastered those lessons. We haven't mastered our energy. We haven't healed those things that are still within our energy field. The things from our past lives, the things from our childhood, the things that we're taking on from everyone else, the things that our ancestors couldn't release. That is what you're here to do. So all the delays that you've been feeling, anything that's been happening that feels you've gone off the wrong route, it's just they're just all preparing you. Because you really cannot rush what you're becoming. You can't rush alignment. You can't rush balance. And you definitely can't rush the time that you need for integration. So if your purpose, if your soul work, if your gifts, if that relationship, whatever it is, feels so fucking far away right now, it's not because you're off path. It's just because something in you is still becoming ready to sustain it. And that could be your nervous system, that could be your emotional body, your confidence, your ability to trust yourself, or your energetic capacity. I know one of my biggest ones was, all of them, firstly, but the energetic capacity to hold this level of work, to hold the energies that I feel and I experience every single day by myself and with my clients. I needed to master that. And mastery does not come quick. Mastery takes times. Mastery takes lifetimes. So if you've just started developing your gift or whatever, and you're why am I not, why is it not happening yet? Or why am I not moving forward quick enough? It's because mastery doesn't happen overnight. Mastery is a lifetime worth of dedication, devotion, and work. Sometimes when I look back and I'm far out, man, I started fully dedicating myself to this work in 2012, 2013. That's over 10 years ago. That's 12 years ago now? Don't ask me to do maths. But it's a long time ago, and I when I first left my old business, when I let that go and I moved into my spiritual and healing business and started building that from the ground, I would look at people and, have the comparisonitis and be well, why am I not there yet? I'm this age and I see people that are in their early 20s doing this and have a huge following. And it's Spirit was just oi, bitch, listen, you didn't say that, but my spirit guides actually have a really quirky, unique sense of humor. So probably they did say that to me, to be honest. Is that, like I said, mastery takes time. And I just had to surrender to the timeline because there was things I needed to go through. There's things I needed to integrate, to embody, to be at the place that I am right now, to hold the vision, to hold what I'm here to do, how I'm here to serve, without burning out, without crashing out, without throwing the towel in, whatever it is. Spirit has its own timing. Spirit doesn't care how fast you move or how fast you want to move. It just cares about how anchored you are whenever you arrive, wherever you arrive. So if this is you, if you've been feeling this frustration, like, when's my time? When is it finally happening? I just want you to take a deep breath, breathe, fill up those nostrils, because it is happening. Even in like those seasons that feel really quiet, because again, we go through these rhythms, we go through cycles, we go through seasons. This is how life works. Just like the seasons of winter, summer, spring. And it's actually those points, when you feel like nothing is actually moving, when you feel like you're starting over again and again. I've been through those cycles. I know them. Everything you're doing right now is part of your bigger initiation. It's preparing you. Remember, mastery takes time. You can't expect to be a master and have all these things that you want, all like this, the most abundant things overnight. Doesn't work like that. I wish it did. I wish it did. So every lesson, every challenge, every integration moment, it's all training you to hold the energy of what's next. Because you're becoming the person that your vision needs you to be. So instead of just trying to rush your soul work, like, I really just want you to practice trusting your timing. So just ask Spirit. Like, you can ask Spirit anytime. What is this current season preparing me for? What is it? What am I being prepared for? And just listen to the answer. Just feel the answer. See the answer. Know the answer. You can ask Spirit, like, what is the wisdom that I'm building here? What is the strength that I'm building here? Because again, you can't build this huge vision for yourself when it is on shaky foundations. It's like, I always see this analogy, right? Of anything that we're building, especially like our soul work. It's like you're building a house, right? You're building a building, and you need deep foundations. You need those holes dug deep, and you need strong foundations. Because if you're trying to build a house on shaky foundations, of amateur foundations, what's going to happen? It's going to fall. It's like, would you rather your dream house be built by an apprentice? Oh, here you go, apprentice. You take over the job now. Or would you rather it be built by someone that has years in the craft, that has tenure, that has mastery, that has built on luxury buildings? Like, who would you rather have working for you? And I'm not saying that you can't have, you can't start your business or you can't move into your soul work, when you don't have the experience. That's part of it. That's just part of your phases and your stages. We all go through those places. I felt like an amateur, even though I'd studied and been doing this work for a very long time. When I first started like this business, I felt like a fucking amateur. But you have to do the reps. You have to do the reps. Soul work, right? Still work, but it's work that feels so aligned to you. And I'm not going to say there's not going to be any challenges. Of course there is. Of course there is. But that's where the growth is. When you start to surrender to the timing, when you stop just trying to get there, that elusive there, or whatever that is, because you feel it's going to make you happy, or you feel like it's going to give you money, or you feel like it's going to give you safety, whatever it is. Firstly, you need to look at that. Like, let's go in there. Let's dive deep in there. You just need to be here. Like, you just need to be present. Because that's when everything starts to open up. When we live in the past, when we are gagging for that future, we are not being present. That's where the magic happens. So if you feel like you're behind, because again, I felt like that for a lot of this journey, you're not behind, you're just aligning, right? You're not waiting, you're just integrating. Like, your soul is never late. So if you are looking at other people online doing what you want to be doing, or having what you want to have, It's okay. Again, you're not off path. You're not late to the party. Your soul has chosen everything in divine timing, right? Everything in divine timing. So if this convo landed for you, if you're like, yep, that's me. If you're in that space of like transition of your life, be that in a relationship, with your gifts, with your purpose, with your soul work, if you're in that stage of like what feels like a fucking rebirth, then this is what I specialize in with my one-on-one clients, my private spiritual coaching, The Path. If you're looking to develop your psychic and mediumship abilities, to do readings, to connect with your spirit guides, whether you want to do that professionally or not, then my certification program, the Rebel Psychic School, is the place for you. And that's going to be launching again very, very soon. Or if you're looking for that constant support, the energy healing, the community of like-minded souls, working through soul wounds that you've been carrying for lifetimes, so you can step into the most authentic self, so you can open your gifts, then the Soul Circle membership is for you. You know, and all of these spaces are places where you can explore your gifts, where you can expand your capacity, where you can align your soul to what is truly calling you towards in your own timing, not anyone else's. So I've created these spaces for whatever journey you feel ready for, however you want to be supported, there's a space for you in this period, in this juncture. So if you feel called to any of those, feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want to chat, or you can check out all the links below. And I hope you've enjoyed this. I want to send you so much love. Remember, your soul is never late. You are bang on time. But sometimes in this juncture of quietness is the perfect time to heal, to develop, to integrate. Your soul knows what to do. Just trust it. Sending you so much love. Until next time, take care.